Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Kingdoms Reborn. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 20 bucks or so. When I stress Early Access, that means everything that you're about to see here is most definitely subject to change. So I have covered this game before, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm revisiting it because, well, they have added a couple of new things to the game. Some things I still think they can improve upon. I will warn you that this game will destroy your saves often. So if you're the type of person that really gets invested in a particular playthrough and likes to keep it around for several years to come, you're just not gonna it's just not gonna be in the cards for you. I'm sorry. So I would recommend, if you do end up getting this game, do not get attached to any one playthrough. So when you do load up the game, and I'm going to take you through this manually instead of talk over my video content like I normally do because I'm pressed for time, but there are now 4 different factions in the game. I think a couple of years ago there was only like 2, whereas now there's a total of 4 of them. The Shogunate is the most recent one. They've got unique resources like rice, plum, sushi, ramen, sake, and so on. Then you've got the Norsemen, which are resistant to cold and have extra wood cutting yields. It's great for the early game. And then unique resources like honey, mead, and cheese. I don't like them. And it even says here, Norsemen have high difficulty. They just don't have some of the benefits that some of these other ones do. Same with the Emirates. They're more about trading. Minus 20% trading fee and minus 50% wood cutting yield. So they're all about trading for what they need, typically. They do have some unique resources as well. Or you can just be the Duchy, which was the original faction for this game. You get some extra research speed and you get a potato as a unique resource. I think the Shogunate is the way to go. I'm having so much fun with that one, especially with the luxury production, because that's how you make your houses grow in this game, by providing luxuries to your houses, kind of like in the Caesar series. They will level up and they will be able to house more people and so on. There's also different map sizes, small, medium, large, difficulties, all easy all the way to deity, which is awesome. I love it when games do this. I love it when games introduce so many different difficulty modes. There are cards in this game. Rather than have a build menu, you're going to draw cards, and then those act as your buildings as a one-off that you can build, but you can get more cards over time. You can even, like, if you don't, like, deal yourself a hand of cards every so often, like, that will accumulate to the point where you can get a wild card, and then you can pick whatever building you want. That's what I do. You can choose the number of AI players, 0 through 8, which is cool. Peaceful AI if you don't want them attacking you or messing with you. There's sea level, mountain density, moisture, temperature, and hottest latitude. One thing I don't like about this particular setup is that there's no way to view the map before you play it, which is unfortunate. So, like, you have to, if you want a particular style of map, you have to play around with these settings and then go into start game. And if it's not what you want, you have to exit out of it, come back here, start a new game, mess with these drop downs a bit more. I wish there was a preview of that particular feature. Before I get into my game, though, there's multiplayer, so you can play like online co-op. There's online PvP. Idly and I have played this a couple of times co-op, which is great. I'm not going to take you through a full game or anything like that. This is just more of like a revisit kind of thing. Well, research just popped up for me. So there's 2 types of trees. There's a tech tree and an upgrades tree, and you can click on either one in the upper right-hand corner. What's cool is that if you don't pick anything, your research points just accumulate, so that when you do pick something, all of it will be applied to that thing. So, like, you could technically just not pick anything and then research 4 or 5 things all at once if you've accumulated enough technology. Your upgrades, I'm almost in the industrial age, and that's the end of that current tech. But these upgrades typically benefit your civilization in some way, and usually there's like multiple tiers of it. So like farming technologies, each Each tier of it is plus 5% farming productivity. There's trade relations, card inventory, house adjacency, military units down here, and so on. And then when you get into the actual tech tree, again, the game takes you all the way up to the industrial age, which I haven't gotten to yet in this playthrough, but I have in previous playthrough. There's the Enlightenment Age, there's the Middle Ages, and the Dark Ages where you start. And again, you just research these technologies, unlock new things and new buildings and so on. If you zoom out, you can take a look at the entire map. Right now, it's winter time. I'm going to fast forward so you can kind of see the seasons as they go. I just did the default 4 AI opponents. There's like one there, and that number next to their name is how big their population is. Right now, my population is 341. And you start off by picking one land somewhere, and then you spend money to unlock it. And then from there, you spend money to unlock adjacent provinces, and you build your territory that way. I do believe there's a cap on that, but you can also create more town halls and then trade between those two towns, those two like provinces. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see. Once you zoom in, you can actually see people moving around. This is like the Banished side of the game. If you're familiar with the game Banished, you'll be familiar with this. You know, you've got storage, you've got houses, you've got various production buildings. There's farms in this game. I've got some rice fields going there, and different technologies unlock these things for you. On the left, you can see all the different resources that are in this game. You've got wood, coal, herbs, medicinal herbs, tools. Oops, go back in. I'll accept that, pick that real quick. And then on the bottom here, you've got stone, clay, brick, iron. There's cocoa, there's wool, cotton, beeswax, sand, and I didn't build everything yet. This is all the different kinds of food that I have. And I love that if you hover your mouse over it, you can see like the consumption. It's not 100% accurate, but you can see how well you're doing. So I love that. And then you've got your luxury goods, which again, your houses need in order to level up, like in the Caesar series. And in doing that, your civilization gets much better. You eventually unlock buildings that allow you to see statistics and set job priorities. You can even train your military units from a certain building. You can even level up your town hall. You can set taxes at some point. It's a lot of micromanagement. So if you're a little concerned about that, there's a lot going on. There's even these minor like cities that are around. They don't grow, but like they don't expand territory. However, you can attack them and claim their land, and then they will stipend money to you. Instead of taking them over, there's a diplomatic option if you want to do that. And you'll notice that there's different symbols on these different provinces. So if you want to unlock grape farming, you have to take that province. If you want to learn, there's other resources out here. There's gold ore deposit in that region. If you want to unlock the gold mining buildings, then you'll have to take a province with that particular resource and so on. So it's about area control, controlling the right areas to get the right products that you need. Also dealing with your enemies from time to time. And there's no like armies that you have to like select and move with like an RTS kind of thing. You just pick the city that you want to attack and you tell which units you want to attack with, and off they go. On the very bottom of the screen is your card row that I was talking about. There's a deck of cards over here. You click on it once, and then you can use your money to buy cards. Sometimes you'll be able to cycle out your hand for free, but if you let this build up enough, over time, it says like 150 seconds. So now I've got 2 different hands that I could draft from. If this goes all the way up to 5, because I've let the timer run out multiple times, I get a free wild card, and that's what these wild cards over here to the left are. But there's also like a backpack, as it were, of cards that you can put the things that you can't use right now, but you should be able to use later. This chocolatier, for example, I probably want to put that down. If I don't want the card, I can also just sell it. So if I just click on that, I'll get a refund of 1,880 gold, which I think I already have 2 chocolatiers somewhere. I think they're down here somewhere. Yeah, there's my cocoa breeder, which allows cocoa farming. Then I've got 2 chocolatiers here already. And each of these buildings, you'll find, can be upgraded by spending various resources. And you can do that multiple times. So like you start with brick, and then eventually iron, and then glass. So you can even shift click to upgrade all the buildings of that particular type. So this game is huge. And again, I don't want to like spend too much time in this because, you know, there's a lot here. As far as like the revisit is concerned, I will just simply say that it's been 2 or 3 years since I've last like really played it, but it feels the same. My concern is that they're not developing the game fast enough. That being said, the amount of hours that I've spent in this game is just it justifies the price tag. I mean, I got a press copy, but it justifies the price tag because like for $20, I can only imagine how many hours I have. I have 61 hours on record, and the game is $20. And I suspect I'm going to have more hours in this. So do I recommend this game? Absolutely. Just keep in the back of your mind that with every major update, they typically wipe playthroughs. So just be warned. Don't get too attached. If that bothers you, maybe wait for release. But I don't know when that's going to be. So there you go. That was Kingdoms Reborn. If you guys are interested in like longer playthroughs, then, you know, let me know on my Discord channel. Any sort of like monetary sponsored video will be welcome if you want to do that, but the view count will ultimately determine that. All right, well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.